Alrighty, this is my his 1 week, I don't know, 1 week postpartum update, 1 week of life update. This is baby's 1 week update. So, he had an appointment when he was born on Thursday, and Sunday the midwife came and saw him, and he was 9 pounds and 5 ounces. When we left the hospital, he was 9 pounds 4 ounces, so he gained 1 ounce in those, like 2 or 3 days after we left. And then we had another appointment on Thursday, so his 1 week appointment, and he had gained, he was 9 pounds and 13 ounces. So she was really happy because she said that most babies, they want them to reach their birth weight by 2 weeks, and at 1 week he was already past his birth weight. So he was 9 pounds 9.8 ounces when he was born, and 1 week later he's 9 pounds and 13 ounces. So he's a good eater. We've been obviously breastfeeding, and he eats probably at least 10 to 12 times a day. He's sleeping for about, on average, 2 to 3 hours. 3 is kind of pushing it. He's kind of closer to 2. Sometimes he eats after 1 hour, sometimes he eats after 3 hours, but on average I would say he'll sleep for about 2 hours, and then he's ready to be changed and to eat. So we were in the hospital. This is kind of like sporadic because I'm looking at my notes, but we were in the hospital for just over 24 hours. He had a little bit of jaundice, like yellowness, which I was like got like concerned about because his eyeballs, like the whites of his eyes were like yellow, which I was not prepared for. Like I thought, I know like his skin might be a little yellow, but when his eyes were yellow I was like freaking out, which they're still a little bit yellow, but the midwife says it's like nothing to be concerned about. It's like just a slight jaundice and it should go away. She said it should be like the last thing to go away, so hopefully this week we don't see that anymore because it makes me sad when I look in his eyeballs. We have an appointment with his pediatrician this week for his 2-week baby update or baby appointment. So we'll see what the pediatrician says. I'm going to ask the pediatrician about his jaundice and make sure that everything's okay. There's not really any other things that are concerning me with him, just his yellow eyeballs. His eyes are like rolling back in his head right now. Let's see. Things about him that I've learned so far. He does not like to poop. It makes him really angry or sad or like frustrated. He just is not a happy camper when he has to poop, whether that's sleeping or awake. He will cry or get fussy. He just does not like pooping. He has a very small window from when he's like happy and everything's fine to when he's like really upset that he has not eaten or needs to be changed. So that's why he's smiling. Yes, you do not like to be waiting for food. You gotta feed him really quickly or else you're gonna have a meltdown. Other than that, he's a really good baby, I think. I guess we're on like a regular-ish schedule, if you call like 2 to 3 hours regular. So I just try and sleep when he sleeps and then wake up, change him, feed him, and then he usually goes back down. A couple days ago he kind of like started staying awake, like maybe around like 3 or 4. Like he won't go back to sleep and he'll stay up until like 6 or 7. But I think that's normal for somebody like who sleeps all day long to stay up for a few hours at some point. So his just chooses to be very early in the morning when somebody else would like to be sleeping. He smiles sometimes. He hasn't started smiling like when you smile at him, but he'll just randomly smile when he's sleeping or when he's awake. And he can smirk on both sides of his face. A little crooked smile on both sides. His skin started to flake a couple days after he came home, probably, like his feet and his ankles and his wrist. But she said that's normal just from like being basically living in water for so long. And what else? He scratches his face up if he has to wait for food, so that's why I don't like to have him waiting for too long, because or else he'll start like his nails. I try to file them down, but it's hard, and like his fingers are like too tiny for me to try and clip them, so that's why I chose to file them, but the file doesn't really get it, so I just try to keep his hands away from his face when he starts to get cranky. His hair is starting to get longer. I think it's getting lighter, so he was born with kind of like brownish, not like maybe dark brown hair, and now it's kind of getting to light brown. It looks like it might go blonde at some point, but we'll see. And his eyes are like light bluish, not light bluish, dark blue or like dark gray. But he doesn't really, you can't take him to the sun to have his eyes open, or else we could really tell what color they are, but I think those will change also. So let's see. And then for me, I don't know, I feel like I've been okay. Like obviously in the middle of the night when he's awake and I want to be sleeping, I'm tired, but for the most part I think the napping during the day with him has helped, so I can stay up for those hours at night while he's up, and then I just try and sleep when he sleeps, and we just been hanging out. I think we left the house, I don't know, we both probably stayed in the house for like 2 or 3 days after he was born. But we've been going out pretty much every day on walks or to the store, so he's pretty chill in the car seat. Anytime we have to like move him from one thing to another, he gets kind of like upset, but other than that, when he's in the car seat, he just hangs out. So I think we got a good baby. Yeah, so this update is a little bit late because he is 11 days old today, but we just did not get around to filming it on time. So the next one will go up when he's 2 weeks, and we'll probably keep doing them on Sundays like we were doing the pregnancy updates. So if you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and we will get to them sometime. And while he's sleeping, I'll try and show you him. A little cutie. So we will see you guys next week. Ciao. I don't know when I decided that I was like, you're not going back in anymore, like you're coming out for sure. So I just like pushed and didn't like stop until I like felt him.
This is driving. It's going to be broken down into a 3-part video. First of which is